Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh, that's way too high. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Ace Michaels Show. Ace Micheals here with you. Happy to be here instead of on the moon, where I was before. But now I'm on Earth and I'm chilling, and that's what's up. Guys, if you ever want to be on the show, please send us a message and just say, hey, I want to be on your show, man. And we'll get you on the show. That's the best way to voice your opinions, convictions, beliefs, dreams, conspiracy theories, all that stuff that you got swirling around in that head of yours. Today on the show, we have a wonderful guest. My favorite guest, actually. It's my favorite. Please welcome Briawna Jackson to... I'm sorry. Fuck, I can't believe I fucked that up. Hold it. Please welcome Briawna Jackson to the show. Briawna, welcome to the Ace Micheals Show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here on the show. We never did this before. Are you nervous? Are you scared?
I mean a little bit, but
Shake it off. You good.
It's it's just you and I, so
you're gonna do fine. You're gonna be fine. So, Briawna, you're an entertainer in the Las Vegas city of sin. Tell me a little bit about your most controversial shows you've been in, or jobs or gigs that you've taken that were just like story worthy.
Oh, well, I mean, since I've been out here, I've really been stepping away from those types of jobs. I did a interesting project for MGM, actually, for one of their virtual training things where we had to literally stay in the same position because it was like a 360 training module. So that was interesting. But as far as controversial... I ended up not doing it because every time I thought about it, I was like, this will come back to haunt me.
Oh, good. Don't say any names, but tell us what happened.
So there was a music video that was happening when I was living in New York. And this woman had reached out to me about her music video. And it was about like woman empowerment and about like essentially like pubic hair and
wait a minute, what?
Yeah, exactly. Which I didn't know at the time, because she was just like, how would you feel about being in a music video where you had to wear a merkin? Which, if you don't know what a merkin is, it is a pubic wig.
Hold on. What? Hold on just a dang second here. Now, you're telling me that number one, they got a thing called a pubic wig? That's a thing? That's a real thing that somebody needs to put a wig over their vagina?
Well, obviously I had to Google it because I didn't know what a merkin was. And yes, apparently like back in the 70s, 80s, when like the bush was a big thing, they would use pubic wigs called merkins. And so she sent me a bunch of these things of like these most ridiculous looking merkins. And I was like, no.
Listen, dog, we can't establish world peace, but we can come up with a designer bush cover.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. That's deep.
But the money was really good. And I looked at it for a second and I was like, what am I really willing to do for a good paycheck? And I decided that was past my line. Like I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I was like, you know what? This is going to come back and I'm going to be known as the Merkin girl.
So wait, now this was a show or what was it? Was it a photo shoot or was it an actual show like a what do they call it? I can't even say it right now. Puppetry of the penis type thing, but with the vagina and a merkin. Like what was the whole point?
It was like a music video. So she had this song and she was like, well, just listen to the song and like think about it. And I was like, hard pass. But thank you so much for reaching out. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you enjoy my work. But I just feel like this is not for me.
You're like, there now, there's the door, there you go, thank you. That's crazy, man. Wow. But you know what, on the other side of it, like on the defense of it, It's really interesting what one person thinks represents one thing, and then another person sees it differently.
Absolutely.
That's all. I mean, everybody's got their own thing.
I mean, one of my really good homegirls, who's this amazing, beautiful dancer, she ended up doing a music video that was also kind of about female empowerment, but it was more on the free the nipple side of it. And so there's a video of her on the internet dancing in Times Square, boobies out, with a bunch of other women. And I was like, you know what? I respect that. Like,
yeah, I can respect that.
I respect the vision behind it. Like,
yeah, why not? I can see that. Do you ever feel weird, like when you go to Instagram these days and you see these like pictures where they've got a topless woman nursing a baby? Because it's the only way to get a free nipple on Instagram anymore is you have to either be nursing a baby, otherwise you have to wear like a sheer thing or something if you want to show your nipple. Like we've gone in this society, we've gone like anti-nipple like crazy. Like people don't want to see a nipple. God forbid a nipple. Because you know the trouble nipples cause. Once you start looking at nipples, it's a gateway into the rest of it. Next you're into the buttholes and the vaginas because you started with a nipple, for God's sake.
At that point,
yeah,
IG
like
may as well be Pornhub.
You might as well. I mean, you that close. You might as well. Don't try to cover it up. You know who you are.
So I high key did not know that was a thing. But that is interesting that is now how they I mean, that's how Briawna got banned from Instagram in the first place before they reinstated her, was because of the whole nipple issue.
Well, there's a whole, community guidelines, I guess, of what you can show and what you can't show. But the thing is like, who is this community? Because I thought I was a part of that community, and I would have never voted for anything like that. That they say, like if I go to Facebook, which rarely I'm there. I don't even like Facebook. Why should I be there? But if I go to Facebook, I'll see like people soliciting me to go check out their Lonely Fans pages, to go get on their like Wet and Wild porn sites and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, why doesn't Facebook ban this stuff? But instead, I post a picture of I'm a photographer. I shot a girl in a bathing suit, and they go, oh, this goes against our community standards. We're going to flag you. You're going to be suspended for a month. And I'm like, but I don't understand. What is the guideline then?
I feel like there is no real set guideline. Like it's all BS. But Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because one thing that one person is getting praised for and can have thousands upon millions of likes, views, whatever, the same, like a different person can do the same thing, and then they'll be shadow banned for the next like 2 years. Like the number of times I've been shadow banned on TikTok, I finally gave up. I was like, okay, thank you, all 15,000 of you, for the short-lived glory for me. I'm Audi 5000.
Yeah, it's nuts, right? So let's talk more about gigs, because I love these stories. So have you ever had a gig where, dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're going to play a game right now. Have you ever had a gig where, let me think, someone didn't pay you? You did the gig and they didn't pay you?
Yes.
That's an artist thing. That happens, right?
It happened. It was one of the first gigs that I booked when I moved out here like a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. I booked a music video for a rock artist, and I have still, no matter how many times I've reached out and everything, they're like, oh, no, it's coming. No, it's coming. And at one point, I finally just gave up, and I was like, okay, I'm obviously never getting the money from this job. And now I just know not to work with this production company anymore.
Don't you hate know it's coming? Wouldn't you rather just hear, listen, we're never going to pay you. Shit happened. It went down. We don't have the money. You're not going to get it. And just move on. Just, if there's something else we can do for you, we will. But money, you're not going to get from us. Maybe that would be better.
Honestly, I think it would, because especially as an artist living paycheck to paycheck or living gig to gig, like every paycheck, all the gigs are important. You're building your life around that. You're planning your bills. All of these things are around these gigs paying you. So instead of giving you the runaround, if they were just like, hey, we're not going to pay you, it's like, oh, well, this sucks. You kind of suck. But at least now I can figure it out, like what I need to do to make sure my bills are paid.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's keep playing our game. Have you ever had a gig where someone propositioned you sexually?
Far too many times.
She's like, do 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 do.
I'd say a few times, especially for commercial gigs, especially or
For commercial gigs?
yeah, like
doing a commercial?
yeah, like for commercial gigs.
What makes those people so horny? Commercial producers are trying to get that booty?
I mean, yeah, that and
That's
like
nuts.
people in stage, a lot of like, because my background is in musical theater and in Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And there is so much sexual harassment that goes into that
In
it's
the
like
theater,
in
are
the
you
theater
saying?
itself,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
That there have been many a line crossed that I've had to be like,
Right. See, I used to have my list. I used to say, okay, here's what's kind of how it went. Like, I used to always think the comedians are the most sexually promiscuous, no, hands down, comedians. They're just gross, nasty people. They will do anything, comedians. Dancers are more about couples kind of sex. Like every time I've run into dancers or choreographers, they're like, oh yeah, well I'm poly and I'm this and I've got 10 things going on at once. And that's that kind of thing. Musicians, needy, very needy people. Those are going to be your clingy boyfriends, your clingy girlfriends, and musicians. Why did you leave me when you know I can't live without? Hey, I like that. That's a song. Why did you leave me when you know I can't live without you, baby? Anyway, so that's musicians. And then actors, they're like down low promiscuous people. Like they'll sleep with anybody, but nobody's going to know until after it's all done because they got to sleep around. Like they got to do it because that's how they get to the next level. So they'll do it with anybody, but they don't want everybody knowing their business. That was my list.
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's fairly accurate, especially the musician part. I mean, CC, look at every song I've ever written. But especially coming from like a stage acting background, absolutely. But when you're in it, it's not as low key as you think. Like. If I put together all the comedians, dancers, singers, actors, producers that I've ever been around,
yes,
I have been groped by more actors
really?
than all the rest of the categories combined.
So people actually touch you?
Oh my
like
God.
On a sexual assault level, people actually put their hands on you.
People will come up and just be like, "Oh my God, I get my butt touched all the time." I've had gay men come up and touch my tatas.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm just laughing. I'm nervously laughing.
No personal, and like it's not even always in a way in which they mean it in that kind of way. There's just no boundaries.
Wow.
Like the number of gay men who've come up to me and like touched my boobs or like given me a smack on the butt, and I'm just like, sir, I don't know you.
Right, exactly. I'm sorry. Have we been introduced before? You get your hands off my genitalia, would you? Thank you.
Like
Thank
I
you
don't.
for
I don't even let my close friends do that.
Right.
Like you're a stranger.
It's not funny at all. We are not endorsing this behavior, and so don't think we are. Let's move on before I spend too much time on it and I get a bunch of bad press. So, have you ever had a job where you had to work with kids?
Yeah.
And was it hard? Was it harder than working with grown ass men's and women's?
No.
Easier?
Kids are so much fun. Like I'm a giant child. So all the kids that I've ever worked with have always been amazing. Like I did Beauty and the Beast quite a few years back, and our Chip, like that was my girl.
Really?
Like we did our little handshake before the show. Like that was my homie.
And it's funny because kids believe everything. Like a kid will go up to an adult person dressed as Snow White and believe that they're actually talking to Snow White. And it's like, did it dawn on you that you saw this person in other clothes like 20 minutes ago walk backstage? But kids don't, they need to believe, they need that imagination.
Absolutely.
They need to know that it's true.
Absolutely.
Like you really are the Easter bunny, bro. You are that right now. So be that, play your character. Don't be smoking a cigarette. Like really be the dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Oh, and like I worked at Disney World. I worked for the mouse.
Nice.
I was very close friends with some of the characters who walk around the park.
Nice.
And let me tell you, kids leaps and bounds above adults.
Really?
Yeah, and
Kid
but it's
performers,
true.
you mean, or just kids in general?
All of the above, like
Wow.
the just like the sense of wonder and like the innocence. Like, of course, there are times when you were just like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But for the most part, the kids are always such a joy. I've had, I don't think I can name a single bad experience working with kids.
Wow. Okay, we're going back to the game. Did you ever have a gig where you got hurt or injured on the gig?
Absolutely.
She said absolutely.
I got 2 bum knees. I got a bum ankle. I sprained my spine, compressed my T7 vertebra. Like the number of injuries I have, it's ridiculous. Like if you took an X-ray of my whole body, my doctor was like, "You're too young to look like this." I was like, "Yeah, lady, who you telling?"
Wow. Well, sorry to hear that for you. Okay, so tell us about some gigs you got going on now. We want to support what you're doing. Thanks for sharing some of those terror stories. I love those. So where are you at now? Where can we come see you, or when can we expect to see you next?
So, you know, I'm pretty new to town. Like I've been here for 1.5 years, but I've really taken into focusing on my music. So right now I'm working on recording a demo and some different side songs. I just was over at the Shag Room last week and won their open mic for the night. So
Oh, you won? Good
I
job.
did,
Congratulations. Very nice.
So in a few weeks, when all of the other winners have been selected and all of that, you'll be able to see me over there.
I love it.
Doing the kind of final competition. And besides that, I'm really trying to make sure that these demos and this music gets done so I can put it out there and start booking myself. I also am very fortunate enough to be working with the Ace Micheals.
Who is that dude?
He's this really amazing producer guy that I met through a mutual.
I don't even know about Ace Micheals anymore. Like some days I wake up and I'm like, I am the biggest loser. Like all I'm doing with my life is just recording in this little studio all the time, and I don't have any kind of social life. I don't have like a lot of the things that like people my age have. Like I don't have a 401 going. I don't have a house here, and I don't have a nice car here. But you know what? I have faith, and I love it.
I think that's
I
so
just have
beautiful,
faith in
too.
what I'm doing. Maybe it's going to turn into something. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I love it. I love my life. Every day I wake up, the things we did earlier today when we did the music thing, that's all I want to do. That's it. That's all I really want to do.
And I'm a firm believer that like success is so subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how many people who have a 401k, who have houses here and there and whatever, and they're so miserable. They wake up every day hating their lives, hating themselves. Like, yes, a lot of problems can be solved with a certain amount of money or support or whatever, but like if you're waking up every day and you love what you do, you love the people that you meet, you love the work that you're putting out, and like you have the faith and you have the passion, you have the drive, like that is success to me.
And that's it. I can't close the show on a stronger note than that. We got like maybe one more minute, but I'm not even going to risk it. So tell us, how do we pleasantly stalk you on the internet? We don't want to become like sleeping in your bushes, but close as we can to that. What do we do?
So you can follow me on TikTok or on Instagram. Both of those are going to be general period Slaya. So general, like, you know, the general period SLAYEIA, like General Leia, because, you know, I don't have a Star Wars half sleeve for nothing. And you can also catch me on SoundCloud under Briawna Jackson. Briawna spelled BRIAWNA, like Brianna. Briawna, and Jackson like the Jackson 5.
And I want to tell you something. This is it's a coincidence that you happen to be here today because this really happened. So I was on Instagram one day and I saw this General Slaya and I didn't know it was you. And so I just clicked on it and I was like, who is this chick? She is fine as a fruit roll up. Holy shit. Who is this chick? And then I was like, wait a minute. That's Briawna. Oh man, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Who put you in there? Oh, snap. What is going on? I feel awkward. Anyway, Briawna Jackson on the show today, the Ace Micheals Show. Guys, please follow what she's doing. Support what she's doing. She's put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this career, and she's also been injured. She's been groped. She's worked with kids. Dude, she's proven that she's clearly committed. And make sure anytime you see somebody doing something good, you got to support that, right? Exactly. You know what I say at the end of every show? Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.